The Spirit in the Body by Robert Crosbie. Letter 21. I am more than glad that surroundings are pleasant and prospects fair. While you may be mentally living with us, as you say, we are in like manner living with you. It is like getting a multiplied experience, a study of the hearts of men. I think we shall get some good things out of it all, and at long range, too. Yes, there is really a thinker, who thinks, who has perceptions on the phenomenal side of every plane. While in waking consciousness, those who identify the thinker with the phenomenal perceptions of physical existence are fully as wise as one would be who identifies himself with the scenes in a moving picture show. Such an one would not be creative in active thought, deliberatively peopling his current in space with thought forms that spring from a knowledge of the true. He would be a mere reflector of impressions, a sort of battledore and shuttlecock. Of such is not the kingdom of heaven. These thinkers have gotten themselves into the realm of passing shadows which shut out the light. They may be likened to the prodigal son who left his father's house and fed on husks with the swine. Some day, they may like him remember and say, I will arise and go to my father. When they do so and endeavor to find the way back, they will be helped by the deliberate thoughts of those who have lighted the fires for their guidance. We all can help in that way, as well as in others. There should be an encouragement in that thought. Have you seen Mr. Judge's article in The Path, each member a center? As above, so below, analogy everywhere and correspondence. But correspondence does not imply sameness of process. The thinker is a creator, and endows his thoughts with self-reproductive power for such time as accords with their nature, and the kind of matter they relate to. Kinds of matter and states of consciousness are intimately related. In fact, the teaching indicates that Marsic consciousness has its habitat in the fifth state of matter as does Buddhic in the sixth state. The permanency of thought creations would naturally be greater in subtle than in gross matter. These last would die out in short order were it not that the lower aspect of manas receives the first impact, and, by attention given, recharges their batteries to a greater or less degree. That attention is of the nature of identification with the impact. Here we have the meaning of self-interest. The destruction of these obstacles lies in renunciation of self-interest in the result of actions and reliance upon the power of truth, the self, the supreme. You say, it is strange how little faith there is in the power of truth. I translate this, in the power of truth perceived. There is power in this perception, when reliance is placed on it. Rely on the power of truth perceived. If this is done, there is not much left for any other assumption of power. So with speaking, it is an acquisition, a talent gained by yourself, and for use, not of the transient physical man, but of the divine man. To talk theosophy in the spirit of theosophy cannot be wrong, so what we have to learn is to guard and use with care those living messengers called words. Let us make all our faculties serve the one end. That action and reaction take place more rapidly with you is not a bad sign. It shows a fluidic state wherein the sediment may be precipitated, and it will be, if reliance is placed upon the power of truth. For the nature of the inner man is of truth, and the perception of truth is of the same nature. Action and reaction must be mutual and complementary. The theosophical meeting that you write of is much as I should imagine. They have missed the key as have so many others. They have become involved in the processes of life. I wonder if these unfortunates ever think what it was that HPB founded. Was it any branch or the people who belong to branches? Let it be understood that with the exoteric society HPB has nothing to do. That which was founded by HPB was not the diversified aggregation now existing, but something else which bore that name. They might also consider the saying well known to them, if ye love me ye will keep my commandments. It would be good if, should voluntarily desire to come with us, but I do not think it wise to press anyone or try to convince. Make bold statements if you wish, to provoke questions and stimulate inquiry, but let it go at that. Do not try to explain everything so fully as to leave no room for germinative thought on the part of acquirers.